I've listened to Hysteria by Def Leppard for a month.
And I listened to it once yesterday.
Welcome to Spin It. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spin It, the record ranking podcast for people who would rather be listening to music. I'm James, and with me is Connor.
We're at like the world's worst circus.
The world's worst circus?
Yeah, all the elephants are caged, all the leopards are deaf.
And the alligator bites.
And the alligator bites.
Yeah, we've been really on an animal kick lately, haven't we?
Yeah.
Remy Wolf had Juno, her dog. He honestly probably been the best animal of late. Juno the dog was a good one, but then, yeah, we had alligators and we had elephants and we've got leopards. Oh my. Def Leppard is one I'm really excited about. You probably know a lot of Def Leppard.
I do.
Being the classic rock guy that you are, I would imagine Hysteria was probably less than 50% new to you.
3, 4, 5, 6. Exactly half.
Exactly half. That was the case for me as well. When I was thinking about a Def Leppard episode, I almost went for Pyromania, the album before this, that has like Photograph and Foolin' and Rock of Ages. Like good stuff on Pyromania. But then I was looking through the discography and thinking about all the Def Leppard stuff I knew. And I was like, man, I know so much more of Hysteria and I consider it like higher up on the tier list of Def Leppard. I just figured we have a greater concentration of bigger hits in Hysteria. And I hadn't listened to the rest of it yet. So lately I undertook the task of listening to the whole album instead of just mostly the first half in various shuffled capacities. But I'm excited about it. Do you know a lot about Def Leppard? Do you know the cool trivia about Def Leppard and Rick Allen?
Maybe. Do I? I might.
You might. You probably have figured it out over the course of preparing for this episode, but Rick Allen, their drummer, has one arm.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a fascinating Def Leppard fact, and we'll talk more about it momentarily.
It's a shame that it's so like pivotal to the band, because that would have been an awesome factor spin round.
Yeah, it would have been. But that's a thing you know about Def Leppard before you...
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just so much about who the band is.
Absolutely. Speaking of who the band is, did you know that Def Leppard's British? I didn't know that. For the longest time, I always thought they were American.
Wait, you didn't? Oh, okay. Well, look at that. I knew something you didn't.
Yeah, I don't know why I assumed that.
Because you're an elitist American snob?
Well, no, I mean, part of it is, look, I've been listening to Def Leppard since I was like a child in some capacity because my parents have listened to Def Leppard. So I heard the hits when I was young.
I mean, I guess I'm not surprised, but I am also a little surprised knowing your parents.
I know. Yeah, well, 1987, all this stuff was big when my parents were teenagers.
I'll be honest, I can't picture your mom ever being 17. Your mom's always been your mom's age for as long as I've known her.
As long as you haven't known her, too. She has always been her age. That's probably why I don't associate Def Leppard with Britain, is because I heard it on the radio before I had any concept of what international boundaries are when I was just a little baby. But yeah, they're British. And I might not be able to teach you that, but I can teach the audience that. Get ready to learn some stuff.
I'm ready to learn.
Okay. Def Leppard was formed in Sheffield, England in 1977. And just in case you were confused by the spelling on the episode, no, that's really how they spell it. DefLeppard. We'll get into it. The band was founded, of course, that classic way, by school friends. Bassist Rick Savage, drummer Tony Kenning, and guitarist Pete Willis played together with some pals in a band called Atomic Mass. But then one day, aspiring 18-year-old guitarist Joe Elliot missed his bus, and he ran into Pete. Pete says, "Hey, I got this band. Do you want to audition?" Joe says, "Yeah, I'm a guitarist. I'll try out." And that's what he did. But pretty quickly, they realized that Joe Elliot was built to be a lead singer. And so that's the role they gave him. They plopped him into the lead singer role. They also picked up guitarist Steve Clark in that time. For his audition, he decided to play all the way through Lynyrd Skynyrd's Freebird and the guitar solo and everything. Like, rock on, dude.
Rock on!
Of course, they're all still students, all still taking classes and stuff. Joe Elliot was in an art class designing posters for bands, fake bands, and he came up with the name Def Leppard, like the way it's normally spelled, a leopard, the animal. And he brought the poster and the name to his bandmates. They kind of liked it, but they changed the spelling to the bizarre and confusing Def Leppard, Defleppard, in order to be a little less punk They actually didn't like how punk Def Leppard was. So they changed it to Def Leppard. It's all very confusing to explain to you verbally, but you get it. They were just about to start recording in 1978 when suddenly Tony Kenning left the band. Def Leppard would shortly pick up drummer Rick Allen. He was 15 years old at the time, which is wild.
It's pretty young.
I mean, we talked about Cage the Elephant needed to become legal guardians of one of their members so he could move overseas. Rick Allen's 15, and he's just one of the coolest drummers in rock. I mean, we talked about relearning to play with one arm and stuff. Fans call him the Thunder God. That's a pretty sweet nickname.
That's what my fans call me.
The Thunder God?
Yeah, it's a bit of a misnomer.
No, it's not. I know how things go in your bathroom. But at this point in his career, of course, he still has both arms. Their first EP, as Def Leppard, performed well, and Get Your Rocks Off turned into a radio hit. Def Leppard were kind of becoming pioneers for new wave punk and like glam metal. They've certainly got a sound that's like very unique even today, decades later. They really find their sleek, shiny, polished groove and run with it. Their debut album, On Through the Night, came out on March 14th, 1980, and hits like Rocks Off and Wasted sent it to number 15 on the UK charts. But local fans thought it was a little pandery and that the band was trying to be too Americanized, right? One of the record's biggest hits was called Hello America, and they extensively toured in the US. And honestly, maybe that's a reason that I was a little hoodwinked and thought that they were from this side of the pond. They were kind of marketing themselves to America very aggressively and openly.
So you fell for the propaganda.
I did. Yeah, it was the propaganda that happened in 1980, more than a decade before my birth. Yeah, I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. But fans were not loving it. It got so bad with audiences, at one point the crowd booed them and threw beer cans and bottles of pee at them while they were performing, which is just gross.
Gross?
Yeah, although I will say, having the pee in a bottle is definitely the preferable way to get it there. Glad they didn't just do it straight from the source. But in spite of all that negative local pushback, they still managed to find success. They'd done some touring and stuff with AC/DC, and they caught the eye and the ear of Mutt Lange, AC/DC's record producer. We talked about him a few times. Most recently, we covered some of his work with Lady Gaga, so that's cool. But he signs on with Def Leppard and helps them create their second record, High and Dry. That record went to number 38 in the US and number 26 in the UK, with Let It Go and Bringin' on the Heartbreak as its biggest hits. In fact, Bringin' on the Heartbreak was one of the first metal songs ever to see airplay on MTV. They're crossing over into new markets. And then Def Leppard has to do a little bit of shuffling. Pete Willis, he had a little tiny bit of a major drinking problem, so they sacked him, got rid of him, and they hired Phil Collen instead.
Phil Collins?
No, not Phil Collins, Phil Collen. One Colin, many Collins. He was the last piece of the puzzle before they made their third record, Pyromania. Still a solid record, just couldn't pull the trigger on it for this episode. Pyromania came out in 1983. It was the band's first major commercial breakthrough. You know Pyromania. For example, Photograph. I talked about it earlier. Photograph usurped Michael Jackson's Beat It as the most requested song on MTV, which is no small feat. And it cracked the top 20 of the Hot 100. Rock of Ages did the same, and Foolin' performed pretty well. Suffice it to say, Pyromania was enormous. It sold 6 million copies that year. More than 100,000 units sold every single week in 1983. For perspective, you only blink 150,000 times per week. That's how often Def Leppard records were selling. For the entire year, 2 out of every 3 times that you blink, a Def Leppard record sold, which is a ridiculous statistic.
That's kind of crazy.
And now you're all thinking about how much you blink, so you're welcome for that. It almost topped the charts, but of course in 1983, Thriller was up there, and absolutely nothing was going to dethrone Thriller. Kind of boxed everyone out of the top, so Def Leppard had to settle for number 2. But by 2004, Pyromania would be certified diamond. So that's huge. I mean, that is no slouch of an album. The band kind of kicked off what's been called the second British invasion of heavy metal and new wave pop. When you think second British invasion, think of The Police and their new wave. Think Joe Jackson stepping out, and think The Pretenders and The Buggles and Duran Duran and Billy Idol and Bonnie Tyler, John Waite, Spandau Ballet, Culture Club, The Eurythmics. So many names cropped up in the mid-'80s from British pop, and Def Leppard kind of pioneered that whole thing. By 1984, Def Leppard was outpacing Journey and AC/DC and the Rolling Stones in a pretty widespread poll for America's favorite rock band. They are just on top of the world, riding high. And then, it's New Year's Eve, 1984. 21-year-old drummer Rick Allen is cruising around the English countryside in his snazzy Corvette Stingray. He's trying to pass another car when suddenly, he loses control and he careens towards a wall. The car's flipping over, his seatbelt comes undone, and he gets thrown out of the sunroof. Rick Allen straight up loses his left arm. He gets rushed to the hospital. The doctors are able to temporarily reattach it, but within a few days, he developed an infection and they just had to amputate it for good. And he's a drummer. His arm is pretty important as a drummer, as if it wouldn't just be important all the time anyway. But suddenly, the foremost metal band in the world has a drummer with one arm, and they need to make their next record, and it's gotta be as good, if not better, than Pyromania. So what do you do? How do you do it?
What do you do?
First off, you design a special, one-of-a-kind electronic drum kit with foot pedals for your drummer. Rick Allen relearns the drums basically from scratch over the course of a few months. Absolutely incredible, legendary drummer. The band never even considered for a second replacing him. They were just with him for the whole journey, which is really commendable. I found a video of the drum kit online, actually, which is super cool. You can check it out and see what Rick Allen's drum kit's like. Now, it's from like the 2000s or 2010s. It's not like the original Rick Allen drum kit, but still cool. The next thing you do, second, you bring your A game. Def Leppard experienced firsthand the power of Thriller. It kept them out of a chart-topping record, and they said, hey, you know what Michael Jackson did on Thriller? You know how he was trying to make a record of all hits, all singles, and no deep cuts, no album cuts? Let's do that. A record of all winners, all big singles, no filler. So they just dive headfirst into songwriting.
I mean, yeah, it worked for Michael Jackson.
It did, all the way down to Human Nature. So Def Leppard's ambitiously trying to do the same thing. Third, what you do is you keep Mutt Lange on your team. He knows what he's doing. They've been successful with him. The band's fourth album would be their last with him, but boy did they ever make the most of it. Like, mostly make the most of it, at least. He helped write and arrange Hysteria, but he was a little too burnt out to commit to producing the whole thing. However, then you've got options. And the fourth thing you should do is bring in the big guns. For help producing this record, Def Leppard recruits Jim Steinman, the same Jim Steinman whose fame has just reached new heights because of his work with Meatloaf on Bat Out of Hell, as we recently talked about in an episode. You're very familiar with Jim Steinman by now, I'm sure. And again, they tried. Jim Steinman's style was not really compatible with the band's. He wanted a really raw, energetic, messy kind of sound, and as you could probably tell by listening to the way this album ended up, Def Leppard likes things clean and crisp. Joe Elliot said that he wouldn't adapt and we wouldn't compromise, which honestly sounds a lot like what Meatloaf was saying back in the day. So maybe he was onto something. After giving Steinman the boot, they ended up trying to self-produce the album with a little help from Mutt Lange and his engineer, Nigel Green. And it was not an easy recording process. It took them the better part of 3 years to get everything recorded. But, I mean, honestly, when you consider that their drummer straight up lost a limb and their singer had the mumps, and Mutt Lange also got into a car accident, like, 3 years doesn't seem all that bad. 3 years is pretty remarkable, actually. For the album, they did not record much live. They did it all piecemeal, instrument by instrument, track by track, sometimes even note by note. One guy in the studio at a time. And they were super meticulous, very calculated with their arrangements. They started to work on the album in February of 1984. They'd be finished recording by January of 1987. And then they spent another couple months devoted exclusively to mixing. But by August 3rd, 1987, the album was ready to be released to the world. They called it Hysteria, largely because of the, well, hysteria surrounding Allen's car accident, right? The chaos of the moment, the emotions surrounding his amputation, the media frenzy that happened afterwards as they ran with the story. Just mass hysteria from everybody. It's the band's signature sleek metal style, but again, just calibrated to be all hits. So there's a lot of melody, a lot of Lange's signature stacked background harmonies, a lot of deep, resonant guitar lines. It's just mid-80s glam metal at its pretty literal finest. Hysteria was projected to be the most expensive album made in the UK at the time, and maybe ever. They had to sell 5 million copies just to break even. Imagine making an album with those kinds of stakes. That's too much.
I mean, that's what Connor Sippin' and Hoppin' album will have to do once I'm done with it.
It sure won't.
Well, you don't want to invest 5 million copies worth of dollars into Connor Sippin' and Hoppin' album?
No.
And here I thought you were a true supporter.
Well, you know. See here, I've Googled just the population of Los Angeles. That's 3.87 million people. That's like selling a record to a million more people than there are in the city of Los Angeles, just to break even.
I'll be honest, that kind of makes it seem like it's pretty easy. Think about how many more people aren't in Los Angeles than there are in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but they have to like Def Leppard, or at least have to spend money on a record.
Just saying. When I only have to do like 1.5 Los Angeles, I think I could do it.
It probably doesn't count like the whole metro area, so I'm not sure. But it's still a lot. Hysteria also is Def Leppard's longest studio album, clocking in at just a smidge over an hour. So that's cool. It's essentially Def Leppard's magnum opus. It's their crowning achievement as far as albums go. Hysteria topped the Billboard 200 in the US within a year, a pinnacle it would hit 3 separate times for a grand total of 6 weeks at number 1. Overall, it'd be in the top 40 for 96 weeks, tied with Springsteen's Born in the USA for the longest top 40 run in the decade, which is very cool. 7 tracks from Hysteria will go on to be singles, which is the same number of singles as Thriller, mind you. They at least hit that mark. It's just they added a lot of extra tracks on here. The 7 singles from Hysteria were Animal, Women, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Hysteria, Armageddon It, Love Bites, and Rocket. Of the ones that you knew were going to be singles.
Sure.
The Def Leppard songs that you know are the singles from this album.
Yeah, I mean, they're all hits album. Of course, these are the ones you're going to know.
Yeah. Of the singles, Love Bites went to number 1 in the United States. 3 more went top 10. Hysteria would go on to be Rolling Stone's 464th greatest album of all time, and it frequently makes the shortlists in assessments of like the greatest heavy metal and hair metal albums of all time. By 1998, they had certainly well exceeded their 5 million unit sales goal. In the US, they were certified 12 times platinum, so they more than doubled it just in America. In fact, Hysteria is, to this day, the 51st best-selling album of all time in the United States. Joe Elliot said, "For us, the first album showed promise, the second showed the true reality of where we were going, the third album worked better in America than it did in England, simply because there was no exposure radio-wise over here. But by the time we did Hysteria, everything had fallen into place. Airplay and hit singles were one aspect of it, but there was also all the hard work we put into the album. We literally did slave over it to get every sound on it right. There was also Rick's accident, of course, and to be honest, I'm sure there was the initial wave of sympathy, but I'm equally sure the album would still have worked anyway. None of the other stuff, the touring, the promotion, the videos, none of that would have meant anything if the songs hadn't been there." And he said, "I'm still really proud of all the songs on Hysteria." So that's great. This is like their masterpiece. I would imagine if they had to pick an album from their discography, probably this one would loom heavy as one of their favorites. With the album's liner notes, the band put in a little note to the fans that basically said, "Hey, sorry it took us 3 years to make this. We were kind of going through a little bit. We promise we won't take 3 years to make the next one." And it would be 5 years before the band's next album. But once again, they had really good reason. And once again, tragedy struck Def Leppard. Guitarist Steve Clark's battle with alcoholism resulted in his death in early 1991. The band's next album, Adrenalize, or Adrenalize, if you're British, I suppose, that was done as a 4-piece band, and it featured hits like Let's Get Rocked, and Def Leppard would move forward with Vivian Campbell as their new guitarist. He's with the band to this day. And of course, they keep on doing other things as well. They put out a few more albums. They did a cover album of songs that they were influenced by growing up. Pretty cool. To date, Def Leppard has put out a dozen studio albums, 2 EPs, and 4 live albums. Their most recent original single dropped in June of 2024, and they said it was absolutely the seed of another Def Leppard album, which at this point they think is either coming out this year or next. I'm saying that in 2025, later in 2025. I would imagine next year seems likely at the earliest. But who knows? Stay tuned.
Yeah.
They also just recently, in January of 2025, did a cover of Benny King's Stand By Me. So darling, darling, stand by me.
Whoa. Stand by me.
Oh, stand
Stand by
by
me?
me. Stand by me.
Darling, darling. Sorry.
Fantastic. Definitely copyright protected. Can't sing much more than that.
No.
I don't think anyone will ring us up for that. As for Def Leppard's awards and accolades, in 1989, they won 2 American Music Awards for Favorite Heavy Metal and Hard Rock Artist and Album. They set a Guinness World Record in 1995 by playing 3 shows on 3 continents in the same day. They played in Morocco, then in England, and then in Vancouver in one day. They were also part of the inaugural class of VH1 Rock honorees, and they've been nominated for 6 MTV Video Music Awards. Def Leppard is also only one of 5 bands with 2 RIAA Diamond certified albums. And we've talked about all the other 4 too. The Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Van Halen. So Def Leppard is in elite company. Pyromania and Hysteria, the 2 albums that have accomplished that diamond status, they're both on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. They earned a 2009 Metal Hammer Golden Gods Legends Award, which is a mouthful, and Def Leppard made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2018. Also, fun, strange trivia tidbit. You are familiar with country music, right? From the 2000s and 2010s. You watched some country music television, right? Some CMT?
Of course I did. Big CMT guy.
Yeah. You remember their series CMT Crossroads?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole premise was they'd take artists that weren't country and they would do a concert with a country artist and kind of collaborate and cover each other's songs, and very interesting stuff. Well, they did a CMT Crossroads with Def Leppard and Taylor Swift.
Wild.
Very wild. So Taylor Swift's in there singing Photograph, and they're in there singing Love Story together. It's surreal. It's a surreal show to listen to and to watch. But that did earn Def Leppard 2 nominations for Country Music Awards, including a CMT Performance of the Year for Photograph. So there you go. Of all the artists you'd ever guess would get some country award nominations, Def Leppard's probably pretty low on that list. But what do you know? They did it.
It's kind of nuts.
It is. I wonder if people lost their minds when it happened, like Beyonce and Cowboy Carter, but probably not.
Probably not.
Anyway, that's what I've got about Def Leppard. Let's get the Mixtaper in here. And
Are you ready to get 4 more things?
yes, I certainly am. Pour some factor spin on me.
I'd hate that.
Okay, no. Armageddon them all right this week, if I'm lucky.
That's pretty decent.
Thank you. Pretty decent.
There's something with like spin some facts on me or something like that.
Whoa, spun Riot.
Mixteria.
Mixteria is probably all right. Yeah, sure. Let's get some Mixteria going.
Hey, it's me, the Mixtaper.
Hello, Mixtaper. Are you excitable?
I am full of love and affection for this podcast.
Wow. I mean, me too.
Of course, I got my trusty animal sidekick, the Gopher, here. So
yeah.
And I can confirm love bites.
Love bleeds.
You ready to learn at least 4 new things?
Oh, you said at least. That's scary now that I know that could mean something, but I'm ready.
There's always the chance to learn more.
I think I'm ready.
Let's kick things off with Rick Allen had a roadie disguise.
A roadie disguise. Did he disguise himself as a roadie?
Yeah.
Ooh, fun. Why did he do this?
So he could wander around during the Hysteria tour without being noticed?
That is fun. I'm sure it's a blast to get around backstage and stuff, but don't your credentials, like, maybe say your name? I don't know. There's some way that doesn't work. What's his disguise? How thorough is it? What's it look like?
He wore a brown wig, a baseball cap, and a mannequin arm to appear to have 2 arms.
Not a bad idea.
I mean, that's better than glasses and a goofy disposition. That's all Superman had.
That's true. He did just have glasses and a goofy disposition. Does he ever get recognized in his roadie disguise, or is he pretty able to pull it off?
Oh, immediately.
Oh, immediately?
Yeah.
When he walks out of the Def Leppard dressing room? People go, oh, hey, it's Rick.
Well, yeah, it basically went that way. He was doomed from the start.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, Steve Clark secretly slapped an I am Rick Allen sticker on his back as he left the dressing room.
That's not going to work. Yeah, that's instant failure. But you don't know it until he's past you. So, you know, a lot of people just run up to him from behind, I bet, and go, oh, you're Rick Allen. He's probably like, wow, I didn't realize I'm so recognizable from the rear.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was. He was very confused. Fans would immediately shout, that's Rick Allen! Rick Allen! He was very confused as to how people could see through his disguise.
He thought he was being clever. Did he figure it out?
Yeah, well, when he got back to the dressing room and found the sticker, he realized what had happened.
He had been betrayed. That's very funny. Did he try again after it was discovered?
I don't know.
Okay. Probably just a one-time thing, maybe. You ever see that? Like the videos that used to go viral of people, artists dressing up like some other people to interview people in line for shows? Those are always get me. Those are always funny.
Sure.
I think I'm going to say this is a fact.
Going with fact. Mannequin arm wearing Rick Allen.
Mannequin arm is a little iffy. I mean, he could just have a prosthetic arm. Or he could just fill it with something so it looks solid, I guess. I don't know. mannequin arm is definitely the iffiest part of this fact.
Getting outwitted by Steve Clark.
I do believe the outwitted thing.
Locking in fact?
I am going to lock in fact. Yep.
All right. This is, and I can't believe I got a mannequin arm past you. Fact!
Yes. Oh, man. It was scary. The mannequin arm was...
Were you worried there for a second?
I was a little worried. Yeah.
True fact.
I'm sure there's a way to do it and make it look natural, but off the top of my head, I can't think of it.
I'll be honest, I one time tried to go out into the public in a non-Mixtaper outfit in a disguise, but I also got instantly recognized.
Wow.
No sticker, just, I guess, the eye mask kind of gave it away.
Oh, yeah, that would do it. I wondered if you'd give that up. You'd be very disguised if you took off the eye mask. It's like the opposite of Superman and his glasses.
It's true. You ready for fact number 2?
I am indeed ready for fact number 2.
The band once literally poured sugar on the audience.
Oh my gosh, did they at least do it in the name of love? That sounds gross. Why? Why did they do that? Was the audience aware that this was going to happen? I'd be a little mad if I was in the splash zone at a Def Leppard concert. Suddenly it's raining sugar.
Well, pretty much the entire stadium was the splash zone.
Stadium? They poured sugar on a stadium?
Yeah.
How?
Using sugar confetti.
That's interesting. Is it special sugar that's like, I don't know, somehow not going to melt on you?
Oh, no, it's still...
Is it big pieces of sugar?
Yeah, it's like big pieces of sugar. It's literally confetti, but made out of like crystallized sugar and colored dye.
Okay. So not like grains of sugar, which is what I feared.
Yeah, that would be awful. Oh.
Granulated sugar from the rafters.
I'm now just picturing getting like how they pour Gatorade on coaches after sports games, like that,
Yeah.
but just a giant pound bag of sugar. It's like, oh, that's awful.
Yep, that'd be pretty bad. But sugary confetti, that sounds logical.
Yeah.
Did fans know that it was sugar? Did any of them try and catch it in their mouths like snowflakes?
I actually don't know if they knew ahead of time it was sugar, like if they announced it was sugar, if it was like something you figured out. I don't know. Although I don't know how you would figure it out. Who's just going around putting confetti in their mouth?
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It'd be a tough thing to figure out. And then why go to all the trouble of the gimmick?
Yeah, so they probably did. I don't have an answer to that, but I'm going to assume that they did know.
Maybe. Well, but then also cleanup sounds horrific.
Oh, yeah.
If there's confetti all over the place, it's going to be sticky.
Yep.
It's going to like melt.
Yeah. It's time to play Guess That Dollar Amount, everybody's second favorite spin a game show.
I didn't even ask this time.
I know. How much money do you think the band was fined for the cleanup of their sugary,
Sticky situation.
Oh, yeah. How much money do you think the band was fined for the cleanup of their sticky situation?
Their confetti conundrum.
Confetti conundrum's really good.
Confectionery confetti conundrum. I think this is a $60,000 cleanup job.
Ooh, slightly less.
Oh, no.
You overshot it for once.
Well, that gives me an upper cap to work with. $20,000?
I said slightly less. Jesus.
That gives me a floor to work from. $50,000.
Slightly more.
$55,000.
Slightly more.
$57,000.
$57,000.
Well, if you factor in tax, I think my first guess was fine.
Do you get taxed on fines?
No, I don't know. I just imagine they were paying for some cleaning service to come in and deep clean the stadium.
No, it was the venue. No, the venue fined them $57,000.
What a mess.
Yeah.
And they did this one time?
Yeah.
When?
During the Hysteria tour.
The 80s were just something else. I think this is also a fact. Your big hit is called Pour Some Sugar on Me. It's your signature song. Surely you're going to try it at least once. This way makes more sense to me than actually pouring sugar on anybody. And I think probably the cleanup bit is just an oversight, a thing they did not plan on, a thing they did not consider. They just said, will this be cool? Yes, let's do it. And then the consequences came.
The rule of cool did rule a lot of the 80s.
Yeah.
Locking in fact?
I think so.
This is a spin.
Well, that's why I only said I think I'm locking in fact. Now I know. No, I'll stick by my guns.
Yeah, it was actually only 56,000. No.
Ugh.
Completely made up. I threw in the get dollar amount thing to try to add some validity.
Not bad. $60,000 being close to the right answer was a little surprising.
Yeah, well, it really worked out because I went slightly less, thinking you'd then just kind of, I would just like 2 or 3, and then you dropped to 20, and I was like, what?
That's slight.
I also had a quote that they like apologized for creating an ant-apocalypse under the seats.
Oh, didn't even consider. So Def Leppard's never poured sugar on anybody.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, what a missed opportunity.
You know what would have happened if they'd actually tried to do that?
An ant-apocalypse.
They were afraid they'd get arrested by the fun police again, which is fact number 3. They were arrested by the fun police.
Who are the fun police? I can see this in my head going one of 2 ways.
Okay.
One is the way that you just implied it, where they're police that crack down on anyone who's having fun.
Okay.
The other way is they're like the normal police, but you have a better time.
As they're arresting you, they're like cracking jokes and stuff.
Yeah, like they handcuff you and they interrogate you in the ball pit, like the fun police.
They catch you with cocaine and they do a little snort because they don't want to let it go to waste what's already on the table. They're fun police.
Yeah.
Know how to have a good time.
Little good cop situation.
Yeah, well, this happened during their New Year's Eve 1987 concert, where their show was interrupted by a raid from the fun police.
But who are the fun police? Like a genuine, legitimate organization, or is this just some fans?
The band's girlfriends in makeshift cop uniforms.
Oh, it's a bit.
A bit they didn't know about, but yes.
No, well, you can't get raided by the fun police if you know they're coming. Otherwise, they'd just be standing by the toilet. All their fun is gone. And they'd say, if it was here, it ain't here no more. Their girlfriends. That's funny. They were arrested by their girlfriends pretending to be the fun police.
Well, their girlfriends and Rick Allen's mom.
Oh. Yeah, in 1987, he's still, what, like 22?
Yeah, Rick Allen's mom was there. As the clock struck midnight, the fun police staged a goofy mock arrest of the band.
What a way to start the year.
Flashing their badges and arresting them for having too much fun. Joe Elliot even quipped into the microphone to Rick's mom, "You've got better legs than your son."
Ridiculous.
Which is a weird thing to say about somebody's mom.
It is. That is a pretty weird thing to say about somebody's mom. But consider this. It would be weirder the other way around.
Yeah.
Your son has better legs than you. I mean, I don't know. So what's the situation? They have to do time. They post bail. They get off on community service, probation. Man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just kind of they got arrested on stage and then continued to play.
Oh, wow. What a mix-up. I think this is a silly little spin.
I heard an F sound in there. You were thinking fact.
I was thinking fact, but I changed it to spin.
Fair enough. Locking in spin?
Yeah, I think I'll lock in spin. I think...
Oh, no. No thinking. I already got burned on thinking.
Well, okay, then I'll just lock in spin. There's something about it being the third of 4 facts really makes it feel spinnish. I don't know.
Playing the game, not the fact.
I'm playing the fact a little bit. Girlfriends dressed as the fun police is funny.
Now that you've locked it in, does the fact I added the mom in there, did that make it better or worse? Like, more or less believable? You know, I'm trying to gather feedback on how I can better improve your fact and spin experience.
Sure. Well, so far you haven't said that it's a spin, so it might be true that his mom was there.
Just saying, was that detailed added halfway into the fact? Which way did that make you all of a sudden go? Because originally I just said girlfriends, and then I added mom after you'd had some time to chew on it.
That's true. I think that would add credibility. I think that would make me lean fact.
Add credibility? Okay, that made you lean fact, but then why'd you still go spin?
Because it's not true, and I want the point.
Oh, okay. Well, in this scenario, in this specific test case, this is a true fact!
Whoops. Well, I mixed it all up. I messed it all up.
The mom thing was supposed to make you lean more spin, so, I gathered some good data there.
No, it makes sense. If mom wasn't there, I don't think this would be a third fact. This would be like number 1 or 2.
I just thought the title got arrested by the fun policeman for a good. Originally Final Ramp, but I came up with a little something different for our last fact, so Had to slot that in at number 3.
I see.
Originally, I was just going to say they got arrested by the police.
By the police.
Yeah, and then tell you it was the fun police later. But then I had to get lead in from the pouring sugar thing being too much fun. It kind of worked itself out.
It did. But you say you've got something completely new.
Yeah, well, I didn't say completely new. Just something different.
Something different.
We've been doing it a lot recently. Hopefully it's not getting too played out. But you just keep picking bands that lend themselves to this format. It's time for some fast-fired facts.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
3 fast-fired facts in 4 episodes.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I keep finding similar themed but different information that then lends itself really nice to the fast-fired facts format.
Yeah, I guess so.
And it's always about stuff that isn't like full fact-worthy. Unless I really wanted to have a convoluted fact that was like 3 or 4 things, and then you're just going to say spin out of the odds.
Well, that's reasonable. What is this Def Leppard fast-fired facts about?
Tour setup / like pre-concert ritual stuff.
Oh, fun.
All about like tour habits.
Tour habits.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Weird tour habits.
I like that. How many rotisserie chickens do they eat?
We got 9 of them.
9 facts.
Not rotisserie chickens, but fast-fired facts.
You're learning.
Yeah, I combined 2 of them to make it 9.
Kind of learning.
I did it prior to the episode, but I originally had 10. And I won't tell you which one.
Okay, fair enough. What are their tour habits?
All right, here we go. Fast-fired facts.
Please don't fall behind early this time. Please.
They'd carry their own equipment so that the whole crew felt like the band was carrying their own weight.
Admirable. I like that. That's pretty cool. Real, remembering your roots kind of stuff. And they're already dressed as roadies. So why not just complete the disguise? I think that's a true fact.
That's a spin.
Oops. It's happening again.
They would rehearse in total darkness, saying it sharpened their hearing.
Stop with your sharpened hearing. They're called Def Leppard. I think this is just a reach for the pun on auditory senses. I think that's a spin.
It is a spin. Listen, I had to get one in there. I got out of the way early.
Uh-huh.
They refused to use the same stage backdrop twice per tour. So every tour was a different stage backdrop because it was bad luck.
Now that I believe.
I mean, you're saying fact?
That could be a fact. Yeah, every tour has a different vibe, every album a different aesthetic. So a different background makes sense. Not to mention any bad luck superstition.
No. Sorry, to make sure I'm just clarifying this correct. Every concert stop on the tour was a different backdrop.
Oh, every stop? That is not what you said at first. That's what I thought you meant at first.
No. It's what I implied. That's what I was trying to imply. Like, within the same tour, they would never use the same backdrop twice because it was bad luck.
That's so expensive. I think that one's a spin.
Going with spin. That is a spin.
Okay.
They had to have alone time before shows.
Alone, like just the band, or alone, like we are splitting apart from each other?
Yeah, they would split apart from each other and have, quote, alone time before going out for the show.
I like that. That makes sense. That's a fact.
That is another spin.
Oh, whoops. I did not get my alone time before this episode.
The band preferred to travel from performance to performance solo.
Oh, alone time before the shows, huh? I think that could be preferable. Yeah, I'll say fact.
Also a spin.
Oh.
They had bizarre vocal warm-ups where they would make their voice very raspy.
That'd be hard to recover from if you're doing that regularly, right?
That's what makes it weird.
But they do sing with a lot of rasp. I think I'd say fact.
That's a spin.
Oh my gosh.
They refused to play in the same venue twice, if possible, on different tours.
That's a different fact.
So what that means is that, if they were going back to LA on a new tour, they would pick a different venue to perform in if there was one available.
Yeah.
They would never perform the same venue twice, if possible.
I'd believe that. I'd say fact.
That's also a spin.
Well, I've surely lost at this point.
How many are we at?
I think 7.
Yeah, I think I got 2 left. The band was rumored to vanish mid-tour, hiding out for weeks to recharge before coming back together for the next leg.
Vanish. Spin.
That is also a spin.
There we go. I've learned to just say spin.
Our last one. Whenever they'd hit a new city, they'd sneak out onto rooftops or into side alleys before sound checks, saying they needed to scout the city from above.
Sneak out to the rooftops. I mean,
To scout the city from above.
a lot of rooftops aren't that tall, like where your arenas and venues are, right? To scout the city I don't know. I think that's a thing they could say and maybe go do, but I think it's another spin.
It's another spin for an all spins fast fired facts.
All spins and all spins fast fired facts.
Oops, all spins.
Oh, gross. Well, I got 4 of them, so I was just shy of what I needed.
Yep. Now, for a Mixtaper buck, can you tell me what these 9 spins all had in common?
They did seem very similar. Let's see. Walk me through them again. They needed to get on the roofs and scout the city. They needed alone time. They never used the same backdrop twice. They never used the same venue twice. They traveled solo. They carried their equipment and pulled their own weight. Are these all, they're all very superstitious seeming things. What do they all have in common?
They are all based on true facts about leopards.
Oh no, I got snail mailed.
You got snail mailed!
Oh, I should have known.
Last week you mentioned how you were worried you would get snail mailed, and so this week I purposely did it to see if you would catch it.
I didn't.
But I put it in a different format.
Did not even think about it. Very well done. So, leopards.
So we'll go through them here. Def Leppard supposedly rehearsed in total darkness to sharpen their hearing. That's the one I combined to make sure we had an odd number. Leopards can see 7 times better than humans in low light, and they have ultra-sensitive hearing that helps them hunt in the dark.
Wow.
They refused to use the same backdrop pattern twice because bad luck was probably the loosest one of this, and it was that no 2 leopards had the same spot pattern.
Oh, okay.
They're all unique.
I can see that. That's fine.
That's why I kept referring to it as a backdrop pattern. I'm trying to make sure I use the word pattern.
Right.
On tour, the band would carry their own weight. Leopards can drag prey up to twice their body weight into trees to protect it from scavengers.
Wow.
I saved this one for last because I was afraid it would give away what I was doing. Whenever they hit a new city, they'd sneak onto rooftops to scout from above. Leopards climb trees and cliffs to survey territory and ambush prey from higher ground.
Yeah, that makes total... That's what I thought of when you said leopard. I was like, of course they scout from above.
They were notorious for disappearing and having alone time behind stage. It's because leopards are very solitary creatures. They would sometimes travel completely solo instead of as a group between shows because unlike lions, leopards live alone. They don't live in packs like a lot of other cat creatures.
Yeah.
Def Leppard has weird vocal warm-up habits that imitate raspy because leopards don't roar like lions. Instead, they have a raspy cough call that can be heard more than a mile away.
Yeah, we talked about, not leopards, but on Willie Nelson, how the preacher was screaming like a panther.
Yeah, they would rotate tour routes, never performing in the same venue in the same season. Had to do with how leopards are territorial roamers who would patrol different locations to hunt for prey. And then the band was rumored to vanish mid-tour, hiding out for weeks between legs. Has to do with how leopards are extremely adaptable and will disappear into rainforests, mountains, or even into the deserts if they have to find their food. So you never know where you're going to find a leopard. They'll pop up all over the place.
Very clever. I know where I'm not going to find a leopard. Anywhere near me.
That's exactly what the leopard wants you to think.
You got a point.
So you could, I guess, also have called this round of Fast Fire Facts band or cat.
True.
And the answer is cat all the way.
All the time. Yeah. 9 lives.
I almost did that. Yep, exactly. That's why I went down to 9. I did consider making it band or cat and then having facts about the band and facts about the cat, but I just couldn't find enough true stuff about the band that could be true about a cat.
Right. Clever. Well, I, unlike a cat, did not land on my feet this time.
No, you didn't.
I went 1 for 4 again.
You sure did. You're 0 for 2 for getting snail mailed.
Unfortunately, that is kind of true.
It's not a full snail mail. Not every fact was about leopards.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, well, I guess I better get out of here.
I guess you better rocket on away.
Like a leopard, I too am a solitary creature.
Oh.
And so I'm going to go hang out with the gopher and Spinny, and we're going to go party.
Might as well. Party it up. I heard you can get really good sugar confetti.
I actually don't even know if that's a real thing.
Well, I did hear it from a questionable source.
Yeah!
Yeah, it definitely is, but it's mostly talking about confetti cookies.
Yeah, there's like confetti sprinkles, but I don't know if there's like full-size confetti that is made out of sugar.
There's sugar paper.
Oh, there is sugar paper, which you could use to make sugar confetti pretty easily.
Sugar paper confetti glitter.
There you go.
15 reviews, 5 stars, sold out. People have been doing it.
Wow. Sold out with 5 stars and 15 reviews?
On dopeslimes.com.
Where do I invest?
At dopeslimes.com. Welcome back, Connor. Let's talk about the album art. This album art screams 1987. Emphasis on scream.
Yeah. Needed 2 mouths for the amount of screaming.
Yeah, and they kind of half share an eyeball. It's hysterical.
I like to imagine this is the dark side of the Pink Floyd rainbow prism.
Oh, the dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
When you flip it over, this is on the back, this big triangle with screams. I can see it.
And then if you make it more of a prism, I don't know what would be on the other.
I don't know. That'll be a quest we have to go on to find our third triangle album.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine. I don't know if this album cover does a ton for me. It's like faux digital and its angularity, its greens and its blues.
I think it looks better from a distance.
Well, that's true.
Like if this was hanging on a wall and I was across the room, I'd be like, that's pretty cool wall art. And then I'd get up closer and look at it and go, maybe not.
Maybe not. Hey, but from a distance.
And the main reason I can articulate that point is because when I look at it in Spotify and it's nice and small in the upper left, as I'm looking at the track list, I'm like, oh, that doesn't look too bad. If I click on it and it gets all big on my screen, I go, maybe not.
Yeah, that is honestly a good point. It kind of is like a targeting thing. Like, see that reticle in the middle, like a crosshair?
Oh, pew pew.
Pew pew. It's almost Star Wars-y, right? Like, we're flying an X-Wing. I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. That's where we can leave it. But let's talk about these tracks. I mean, the first half of this album is really something. The album kicks off with Woman, but like women, but they sing it like woman. It was the first single in the US. Woman was the second single overall. It was a double A-side with Animal, actually. And it went to number 80 on the Hot 100 and number 7 on the mainstream rock tracks chart in the US. What did you think of Women?
Women, I hate them.
Oh.
Can't live with them, can't live without them. All the cliches.
I don't think that's quite how the song goes.
I do love how it starts. This is a great intro to the album.
Yeah, it is. Well, it starts with the beginning of biblical time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true, too. I just think instrumentally, the way it builds up.
True.
You get a solid 30 seconds or more of just them building the instrumentational expectations.
Yeah, and it's sleek. It's so good.
And then, yeah, they just start the album with In the Beginning.
Yeah, talking about the creation of mankind. So here's what God comes up with. 1 part love, 1 part wild, 1 part lady, 1 part child? Okay, Def Leppard.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Not sure the math is mathin', but...
No. But hey, it makes for a catchy song.
I think they really liked the 1 part love, 1 part wild, 1 part lady. And then they went, what rhymes with wild? And somebody went, child, and they didn't put more thought into it than that.
No, you're right. That's probably about it. Lots of pretty women. Men can't live without them.
Yeah, see, can't live with them, can't live without them.
Well, no, I don't think that's it.
I do like the chanting women, and then followed up by men.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like a worse version of Rocket, which we'll get to in a minute.
Oh.
The chanting part just kind of feels the same. And here we go again. Oh, look, they mix it up here. They talk about lust and appetites and things in the next verse. Then it's 1 part love, 1 part child, 1 part girl, 1 part wild. Like they realized that it wasn't good to say it again. But they couldn't think of it.
Well, they still say 1 part child.
Yeah, right. I know. They just moved it around. It's like they were like, something about this phrase isn't working.
They're like, that'll fix it. Just say it in the opposite order.
Yeah. A whole lot of fire, a little bit of ice.
I do like the phrase, skin on skin, let the love begin.
Yeah, that's true.
The line is pretty good. Then just the syncopation of how they get the line, then the final screech of a women into the then guitar solo.
Screech.
I mean, tell me you love the guitar solo, Mr. Guitar Guy.
Screech is a good word for sometimes how Joe Elliot sings. In the most awesome way possible. He does screech from time to time.
Like a what?
Like a leopard.
Yeah.
Then they just kind of run out of ideas and start naming body parts.
They do.
Hair, eyes. They say skin on skin again. Legs, thighs. What's that spell?
I like to think that that's in the order, like a ranking list of women's body parts. Like the best thing women got, hair. Next up, their eyes. What's third? I don't know, their skin?
Awful.
And then somebody goes, no, you forgot the legs and thighs.
Legs and thighs. It's like the thighs are just a part of the legs.
Well, now they're just ordering chicken. Yeah, I'll take the leg. I'll take a thigh.
Yeah, you make an excellent point. It's a little dehumanizing. Even though it's like trying to be complimentary, it's in a weird 80s hair metal band kind of way.
I'll be honest, most 80s compliments towards women were a little backhanded, right? So this just fits right in.
Yeah.
This wasn't an era where being like, you got nice thighs, girl, was seen as a compliment. So
Weird. What a weird time.
and I'll be honest, still kind of a compliment. I'd be happy if somebody complimented my thighs.
Well, get out there and start fishing.
Would have been a real nice moment for you to tell me you liked my thighs, but I guess we'll just move on.
Yeah, well, look, the Mixtaper is our liar. This song is 5 minutes and 42 seconds long. All these songs are long. Does it need to be that long?
Absolutely. It's a rock anthem, baby.
I guess.
I'll be honest, does it need to be? No. Is it okay that it is? Absolutely.
What a backwards thing from you.
It doesn't get old for me.
Interesting.
You're in my world. 80s rock? This is my playground.
Fair enough.
I'm a rocket.
Yes, Rocket. Rocket was the 7th single from the album. In what world is Rocket the 7th single from Hysteria? I don't know, but it was. It went to number 15 on the Hot 100, and it ended up being the band's last single with Steve Clark on guitar. Rocket is a quintessential Def Leppard song. It's a must-know. It's a huge one.
They mentioned Sgt. Pepper.
They mention a lot, actually.
Benny and the Jets.
Yeah, they name drop Jumpin' Jack Flash and Rocket Man and Ziggy Stardust and Johnny B. Good and Killer Queen and so much more. Joe Elliot said when it came to the lyrics of Rocket, we started singing Rocket because it was a simplistic phrase that fit the sort of space-age sound that had developed over this African drum loop. But I felt like Bowie had done the space thing to death. So I remember thinking, why don't we just use the rocket thing as a metaphor and make this song a vehicle to talk about our childhoods? Let's just name check as many artists that influenced us as we possibly can. So there you go. He said it just kind of fit the whole vibe of what we were doing. To name drop and name drop and name drop. Musically, Rocket was inspired by a cassette tape of the song Burundi Black by Mike Stephenson, and it was almost an instrumental before the band came up with those lyrics. They just really liked the sound of it. Elliot said, I'd been hanging out with somebody in Holland who had been playing me Burundi Black, which has this immensely hypnotic African drum pattern. It really got under my skin on skin, and sucked me in. So I borrowed it off that friend and made a loop of the actual drum pattern. I started putting chords on top of it, and that turned into what is now the chorus of this song. Then we all bashed it into shape as a piece of music. So that's cool. They also interpolated stuff from Cream's I Feel Free. They took inspiration from Lou Reed, and they even added actual audio from the Apollo 11 moon landing. You know what else they did in Rocket that was very interesting?
What'd they do?
They did a lot of self-references. If you listen close, you can hear We're Fighting with the Gods of War in there backwards. They put it in reverse and stuck it in there.
Is that what they're saying there?
Yeah. And then they added the words Love Bites to the middle of the track like a rocket launch. I don't know. It's just cool.
That's cool.
It's no surprise that it ended up being a long song because it's 6:30. Like, they had a lot to cram in there.
Yeah.
I love their drum sound so much.
They do have good drums on this song.
Right?
Here's a question.
What's your question?
Has anybody ever had a really famous song about rockets, but it's like a play on words somehow of like it being a rocket, but then also just like the phrase like rock it, like as like two separate words?
I mean, are you excluding Def Leppard? Because they kind of did that here.
I mean, kind of, but not explicitly. Like, the way they say rocket is kind of like rock it, but I don't know. It's not the way I want it to be done.
Well, but then they talk about all the rock stars that they loved.
Yeah, they say, I'll be your rocket. They're not being like, let's rock it or something like that, but yet it being about space.
Rocket, baby. Come on.
Okay, they do kind of say rocket. So, listen, they allude to that pun throughout the song, but it's like the hook of the song.
Yeah, it's not the gimmick.
Yeah.
Not fully.
But yes, the fact that they did a little is what made me wonder if somebody had ever like done it a lot.
They're probably the closest that I know of. But man, I love it. Listen to the way that they sing Satellite of Love. That sound is like what I identify as Def Leppard. Just that really sleek, tight harmonies. Very reverby, almost squeaky. I don't know. Very unique.
It's very unique for sure.
Also, I mean, you talked about Guitar Guy. Did you hear this guitar solo on Rocket?
You sure did.
What did you think of it?
I liked it.
The guitar solo in Rocket was voted the 17th worst guitar solo of all time by Guitar World magazine in 2004.
Really?
Yikes.
Why?
They said something to the effect of anybody any kid with like an effect pedal could play the solo on Rocket, and they're not wrong. It's not very technically impressive,
I mean, okay, but it sounds good.
but it sounds good, right? It fits the song well.
Listen, I do not care how hard. I mean, I care a little because we're a podcast that ranks stuff. So, like, from that aspect, I care. But, like, as a listener, I could not care less about how hard it was to play. I wanted to sound cool. In fact, the easier it is to play, if it sounds cool, that's great because I want to be able to replicate it.
That's reasonable.
Simple technique, but good sound is, I think we're being a bit snobbish calling it the 17th worst.
I know, right? I want to know what the worst was.
And they said there's a lot of bad guitar solos out there. So to be fair, this is on a list of like famous guitar solos. So it's already a good guitar solo. The fact it made the list, I guess, if we're looking half glass full, because I could go play you a guitar solo that'll put a new floor.
Definitely would be worse than this one.
Yeah. You ready for a wild ride?
Wild Ride. Yeah, I am. I think Rocket is just such a strong track. And then we get even stronger with the Wild Ride of Animal.
Yeah, but we're going to the circus. It's come to town with its caged elephants and its biting alligators.
No. Yeah. Oh, man. Animal was the first single, and it was the band's first UK top 10 hit. Went all the way to number 6.
Wow.
Animal is such a marvelously complex track. The band says it's one of the hardest tracks to record. They tried to work with Jim Steinman and Mutt Lange for, literal years on it before they got the right sound. Animal is so old, in fact, that it's the only Hysteria song that got a demo by Rick Allen before his accident. Animal's the only track that even existed in that time. By 1985, they reworked it and re-recorded it into something they were happy with, but it took years. Phil Collins said, we used the original one off my original demo, but it took 3 years before we actually completed it. I had done this demo and it was okay, and there was a song in there we just couldn't quite get. We revisited it, and I remember we were recording vocals in Paris for something, and Joe had done this vocal, and Mutt Lange had said, wow, this vocal's killer. Let's rewrite the song around that. So we did, and it was our first English top 10 single, so it was worth waiting. He said that was the genius of Mutt Lange, that he would say, yeah, this is okay, but this can be great. And I think we achieved that, is what Phil Collins said about Animal, and it's great.
Who said?
Phil Collins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
No, Phil Collins doesn't like Animal, he likes Alamo. And here they are singing about lust again.
Well, it's the 80s, and they're a rock band.
Lust and fire and rocks. That's what the 80s is all about. And I want, and I need, and I lust Animal. What a chorus. Very interesting.
It's such a... I can see why it went top 10. It's just such a good song.
It is. But it's, again, just so cold. And I need your touch. I don't need your love.
Yeah.
It's a little Tina Turner-ish. What's love got to do with it?
Oh, another great song.
Very different song. And like the driving rain, like the restless rust, I never sleep. Oh, wow. There's just some really vivid imagery. Animal is one of the songs that's most likely to be stuck in my head every time I hear it from this album.
Yep. I gotta feel it in my blood. Whoa. You know what I gotta feel in my blood?
What?
A pulse.
That is important. Yep, that's pretty important. Oh, speaking of blood, how about Love Bites?
Which we've been speaking a lot about. But yeah, let's draw some blood.
Love Bites. This one, hear me closely now, this one was the band's only U.S. #1. Somehow.
Hear me now. Love Bites would make a really good name for like a children's heart-shaped chicken nugget.
No, you'd think. The title is already a pun because...
I'm just saying. Imagine like, oh, well, how'd you like some Love Bites? And it's just little like bite-sized nuggets.
No.
But they're
No, see, because to you and me, Love Bites has no prior associations, right? It can be a little heart-shaped chicken nugget for us.
Yeah.
Over across the pond in England, that's not what it is.
Uh-oh.
It's a hickey.
Oh!
The British call hickeys Love Bites. So I don't think...
Honestly, points Brit.
Yeah, that's a win. That's a win.
Hickey versus Love Bite. Love Bite's better. Let Britain have that one. Okay, but to be fair, young... little 5-6-year-old British kids also aren't going to know what a Love Bite is, so I think the chicken nugget idea still works.
Yeah. Have these chicken nuggets. 1 part love, 1 part wild, 1 part chicken, 1 part child. Yeah. Joe Elliot said, the English language is an awkward beast. Many words mean many different things.
Yeah.
Which is such a nothing. Like, what a nonsense sentence. Yes, many words mean many things. Thank you, wise Joe Elliot. But yeah, it was their only U.S. #1. It went to top 10 in Canada, Ireland, and New Zealand, and 11 in the UK. But I can't believe this was their only number one.
I mean, they did put this out in the height of the 80s when there was a lot of music going around that it was a saturated market.
That's true.
I think some other songs released in different years would have gone number one. Easy.
That's probably accurate.
I mean, Pour Some Sugar on Me alone probably should have gone number one.
Yeah, you'd think. But, like, Love Bites started out as a country. I keep saying it like it's a noun now, even though I've always thought of it as a verb. Love Bites started out as a country song.
Well, it is a noun, apparently, right? I mean, a hickey's a thing.
Yeah, it's both. Can you imagine this is a country song? Because that's how it began, and they didn't like that. So they tried to put their own spin on it, and they lifted the title and the lyrics from a track that would eventually become I Want to Be Your Hero, and they converted it into the hit we all know and love. Phil Collins said that Love Bites went to number one while we were on tour. We had never even played Love Bites through as a song when we recorded it.
Wow.
Let alone together. Yeah, I know. That's what piecemeal recording gets you. You don't record it as a band, you don't play it ever. He said, we had to take 2 days off and go into a little studio in Vancouver to learn the song because they'd never played it.
Wild.
Uh-huh. He said it was so high and it was such a problem for Joe because he was singing that we were all scared of this song. But in the end, he said it was one of the best songs that Joe sings.
I mean, the chorus is so hooky on Love Bites.
Yeah.
Love bites, love bleeds. It's bringing me to my knees. Love lives, love dies. It's no surprise. Love begs, love pleads. It's what I need.
I love that guitar behind it.
And I always put an S on needs just because I think it's funny.
Oh, it's what I needs.
It's what I needs. It's what I needs. It makes me giggle.
It's just such a heartbreaking song about this relationship that's just crumbling.
It is.
Yeah, I love it a lot. Ballad Guy, I'm sure it's a big hit for you.
Big hit from me. I just like the harmony on their voices too.
Yeah, it's incredible. Another Def Leppard kind of hallmark. And speaking of Def Leppard hallmarks, up next is Pour Some Sugar on Me. It's the third single from this album, but it is definitely the most enduring hit. It's turned into Def Leppard's signature song.
Oh, absolutely.
Pour Some Sugar on Me did not go to number one, but it did go to number two in the US. It's certified gold in America and platinum in the UK. What's wild about Pour Some Sugar on Me is that it was a last-minute addition to Hysteria. It's that classic, age-old story of a guitarist just rocking out with a random riff. Someone overhears it and says, oh, I like that. Let's make that into a song. And so they did. Mutt Lange whipped up a demo, and the band instantly thought that they were, quote, onto a bit of a winner. They made the entire track within 2 weeks for Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Wow.
Yeah. It was their attempt to kind of like fuse together rap and rock music. They heard Aerosmith and Run DMC do something similar on Walk This Way, and they said, oh, we can absolutely like do that. We can fuse these genres. And they did a fun thing too when they were writing lyrics.
Yeah.
Mutt Lange and Joe Elliot, they took two microphones and then they went to other ends of the studio alone and they just started saying words along with the backing track, just stream of conscious, spitting out whatever they're thinking of. And then they switched places and they took the other microphone and tried to figure out what the other person had said into the microphone. And that's how they found the little phrase, love is like a bomb. And they kind of worked that into the lyrics. Very interesting.
It is weird.
This song is just iconic.
It is.
It's the best drum sound on the album, probably by far. I just love that big resonant snare. The guitar is really sharp. There's such an energy in Joe Elliott's voice. Man, it's loud and it's perfect. Now, I know there's all kinds of stuff to be said about double entendre and allegory and metaphor and stuff. Pour Some Sugar on Me, I think, is just gross in all the iterations.
I don't know. All the iterations is a little definite.
Yeah.
It's a little absolutist.
I don't want sugar poured on me.
Not in any way?
No.
Like all the ways. Think
All
of
the ways.
all the ways.
Oh,
There's not a single way.
if sugar was money, I'd be a little more open to it. But is that what I would choose instead of just being handed the sugar? No.
Well, maybe that's not an option. What if for $10 I got to pour sugar on you, but you got $10?
How much?
I said $10.
No, how much sugar?
Oh, how much sugar? $10 worth of sugar.
That's a ton of sugar. Absolutely not. I'd charge you a $60,000 cleaning fee for that.
Okay. Hang on. Maybe we go 10 cents worth of sugar for $10.
Can I choose where you pour it?
No. I'll pour it over like the top of your head, and wherever the sugar goes, it goes.
And I have to be looking straight ahead?
Or down, preferably. Or, I mean, I'd allow up, but you'd be a maniac to look up.
I could look up with goggles on and just eat the sugar.
You could. That'd be acceptable.
If you pour some sugar on my mouth, yeah, I'll eat it.
Let's just talk price point. 10 cents, $10. 1 cent a dollar. How many dollars before you now would have to say no because of how much sugar there is? Or is the money always worth it?
The money's always worth it at that rate, I think.
At that rate, you think?
Yeah.
If it's 1 cent of sugar, so $100 is $1 worth of sugar. Yeah, it is probably always worth the rate at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
But dollar for dollar is not worth it, is what you're saying.
Yep.
So there's a happy medium somewhere in the middle.
Let's not find it.
I want to find it. I'll keep thinking about it, and I'll present you with one later.
Probably the best use of the word saccharin in a song, though.
Maybe the only use?
I don't know. We've had everything from Massapequa to quinoa, so saccharin is probably somewhere else.
Added to the list, though.
Yeah.
Added to the Spin It list of unique words.
It's a rare one, and it's strikingly intellectual from a band who writes songs about lust, animal, skin, leg, hair.
Lust, what did we say earlier? Lust, blood, and...
Lust, blood.
Rock?
Rock. Lust, blood, rock, 1987.
Lust, blood, rock, saccharin.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's funny. It's true, though. Also, they made 2 music videos for Pour Some Sugar on Me. One is a very normal performance video, and the other features the band in a giant house actively being demolished by a wrecking ball, because why not?
Awesome.
Awesome until that wrecking ball wrecks something in the way you don't want to go.
Well, I'm not saying I would put myself in that situation, but for a video, that's awesome.
That's true. Smash some rubble on me.
As somebody not physically in that house, watching that is awesome.
Awesome to look at.
From a distance, like the album art. Up close, maybe not.
Maybe not. Up close for the wrecking ball? Maybe not. Another kind of punny title on the album is Armageddon It.
That's a good one.
It is a good one because Armageddon, I mean, we take the biblical thing full circle halfway through the album. Women opens within the beginning, and Armageddon is like the battle at the end of the world. It's the apocalypse. And they use it as a pun, like, I'm getting it. I'm a getting it. Armageddon It. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's fine. Armageddon It went to number 3 in the US. It was the band's 3rd top 10 hit, and it cracked the top 10 in Canada and New Zealand, and the top 20 in Ireland and the UK. Armageddon It has a great lead guitar riff, but I think as great as the guitar riff is, the vocal melody is a little less memorable than a lot of the other hit singles from this album. Armageddon It's on the lower tier of hit singles. Like if this were Thriller, Armageddon It would be the album's Human Nature.
Armageddon It is never a Def Leppard song I think of when people are like, oh, like, name a Def Leppard song. Or like, what's your favorite Def Leppard song? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like, name your favorite song. Right? I go to Pour Some Sugar on Me, Love Bites, even probably Animal, right?
I go to Foolin' and Photograph, honestly.
Well, sure. I'm just talking from this album in general.
Oh, yeah.
But Armageddon is one that every time it comes on, I'm like, heck yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when we hit that chorus.
This one feels like it's built to be chanted in an audience live.
Yeah, this would be a good one live. That guitar riff, though, sounds so familiar. Like, it's so close to something else.
Yeah.
And I'm not able to place it.
I don't know. It's in there somewhere.
It's another 80s rock song.
That doesn't narrow it down much.
I know.
It's a song they had to rework a lot to get the way that they liked it. Steve Clark said the chorus wasn't strong enough, so we changed the chorus. Then we thought the chorus is so strong, the verse is a bit weak, and so we rewrote the verse, and then said the bridge stinks. He said there's not one existing note from the original, but it's a progression that went on over about 3 years. It must have been cool to watch the song evolve like that. I wish we had the earlier iterations of it to compare.
What's the doo-doo song? I just realized that doesn't. What's the song that says do 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 do?
Oh, you're talking about Hungry Like the Wolf.
Yeah. The guitar riff sounds a lot like that, I think.
Yeah, well, we talked about the British invasion, the second British invasion with Duran Duran.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But calling Hungry Like the Wolf the doo-doo song is a big disservice to it.
Yeah, I know. And all of a sudden that part of it popped into my head and I had to blurt it out, and then I realized what I'd done.
Joe Elliot says that his vocal style on Armageddon It is T-Rex meets Eddie Cochran with backing vocals. And I just thought that was very funny. Now I'm picturing a T-Rex singing Armageddon It, but he's got little arms. Little Armageddon It.
Okay, does this change your answer at all? I've now looked up that the current price of sugar is approximately 16.6 cents per pound. market rate.
Oh, dear. That's a lot cheaper than I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew sugar was cheap.
Obviously, you buy like a pound of it for like $4 at Kroger, but like if I'm trying to get a wholesale market rate, it's 16.6 cents per pound, apparently. And so now does the cent per dollar, it only takes $16 before I'm pouring a pound of sugar on you.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. I think that's a bad ratio.
Good thing you already agreed to it.
Well, at some point, it cancels out. Like, any negative effect is like, okay, well, I'm already saturated. I'm already covered in enough sugar that what is more going to do to me?
That's a fair point. I wonder where that limit is.
It's not far from a pound.
Really?
Probably not. Like,
I disagree with that.
I'm already going to have to do so much work to get a pound of sugar off me and, like, out of my skin and hair.
Yeah.
Like, why not just do that work everywhere? It's going to be fine.
So you're saying the difference between $16, like once you've hit $16 a pound of sugar, then from there you're just like, what's the difference between 16 pounds and 100 pounds?
Yeah, roughly. If it's just the time I'm standing there, do I have to stand in the sugar or is it just pouring over me?
I'm pouring it on you. So yeah, you gotta stand there.
But can I be suspended in some way so it's not like all over my feet so much?
I think not. I think you have to keep climbing Sugar Mountain as it piles up at your feet.
I think we're reading way too into this.
I'm just saying, I think it's 1 pound. I'm still not going for it because that's only $16. To me, I think, though, somewhere there's that limit where all of a sudden I say yes. And once I say yes, sky's the limit, right? So to me, it's like, where's my yes point? Because once I've said yes, that dollar amount has equal to sugar amount. That's so absurd. I might as well go higher, But I would not say yes at $16 for a pound of sugar.
So we finish Armageddon It.
We got it.
And we finished side A of the record. We got it. I think Hysteria has one of the most stark contrasts between the hit power of side A and the hit power of side B that I've ever seen.
Yeah, side B is a bit of a drop-off compared to side A. For an album that was trying to be all hits, they really kind of under-delivered on the back end.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
they had a really good start. Like, track 1 through 6 are all hits.
Yeah. If you keep 1 through 6 and bump up like Hysteria, and maybe even I'll give you like Run Riot or Love and Affection, something, then you have your Thriller.
Yeah, you have your Thriller. But Thriller wasn't a full 12-track album either for that probably exact same reason.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think they had a great start, and then I think they went, we need more tracks.
And then it
fell off a little.
Went into it. Yeah, it's not as bad. It's not awful. I think the back half of Hysteria is still a good Def Leppard album. But it's...
Yeah, it is. It's just on an album that was hyped up to be, we're going for all hits, and then delivering for 6 tracks in a row. There's, like you said, a giant shift as you go into side B.
Yeah. And it might be less noticeable if they spread out those 6 hits.
Absolutely, it would be.
But they didn't.
You're 100% correct.
They're pretty concentrated. Then we get into Gods of War. Gods of War is a super political song. They have, like, tons of Ronald Reagan quotes in there about, like, the hostage crisis and all the things that are going on. It's a typical, I think, song about the rich get richer and they send us all off to war like they're pawns. It's nothing you haven't heard in 100 songs just like this. It feels uninspired a little bit. It feels cookie cutter. I don't know. It feels like they're trying to shock you rather than they genuinely have passion about this issue.
Yeah, that's fair. Gods of War. I've always wanted to play that franchise.
Oh, the God of War franchise? You should. It's good.
Yeah.
But they don't even use the Def Leppard song in it.
Probably fair.
At least as far as I know. I like the melody. Stop Fighting for the Gods of War. It's good. I just, for some reason, I just can't get quite all the way into it.
Yeah, I think it's just a shift. Like I said, it's not like it's a bad song. If this just came on out of nowhere, I wouldn't like skip it necessarily.
No.
But like going from what we had to this, it's a bit shocking.
Yeah, and then I think we fall even farther with Don't Shoot Shotgun, where shotgun is 2 separate words for some reason. Never called it a shotgun, but Def Leppard does. And the lyrics are interesting. Run for cover, don't shoot, shoot. She's so dangerous. Shotgun, gun, don't shoot, shotgun. That's the first part of the song. It's like they've lost all their lyrics. All of them. They put all their lyrics into the first 6 songs, and by Don't Shoot Shotgun, they're out.
Yeah. I mean, the lyrics get better after that opening, but still.
They do, but you gotta rough and tumble through it. This feels like a good classic rock song. It feels like not a Def Leppard song to me. But I do hear the Mutt Lang on this. Don't Shoot Shotgun to me sounds like an AC/DC song. Plus, maybe that's just because AC/DC did all the stuff like Shoot to Thrill, Have Gun With Me. Don't Shoot Shotgun feels the same. I will say a bright spot, very bright for me, on these back half tracks. Run Riot. I rather liked Run Riot.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. It was one I had not heard before listening to Hysteria.
Yeah, me neither.
Run Riot is fast and rowdy.
Well, you do like a rowdy song.
I do.
You're a bit of a rowdy.
Mm-hmm. The verses I could take or leave, but when we get to that, you better run riot. Like, I really like that. That's a very strong chorus. Worth noting, though, that the music doesn't do much during that chorus. It's kind of one chord.
It does all the work at the beginning of the song.
It does. You can kind of hear a note just droning all the way through it. And that's not bad. It creates a very interesting effect. Run Riot's a very fast song. It's like the front half is all like love songs and songs about women and party. The front half is all Lust Blood rock. The second half of this album is just
There's less blood.
less blood, less lust. It's all rock and stuff.
Yeah.
We're talking about war and guns and riots. The subject matter feels vastly different than the front half of the album.
Fair.
But Run Riot gets all rowdy and fast, and that's a good way to speed us up before they hit the absolute brakes on Hysteria, one of the slowest songs on this album, probably one of the slower songs Def Leppard's ever made. It was the fourth single. Of course, Hysteria is the title track.
Title track!
Yeah. It was the first single in the US, though, actually, and it went to number 10, which means Hysteria was Def Leppard's first US top 10 hit.
Top 10.
Yeah, top 10. Today, it's a rare silver certified song. You don't see silver much, because most of the things that hit silver get to gold pretty quickly. But Hysteria is one that's managed to stay at silver for a while.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. The title, Hysteria, and the general nature of the song, like we kind of already talked about, was inspired by Rick Allen's car accident and the aftermath. Very emotional, hysterical time. Not hysterical in the sense that it's funny, of course.
Yeah, the other form.
Yeah, the panic, the hysteria, the hectic nature of it. Phil Collins said the song is really about finding spiritual enlightenment. Not many people know that because it sounds like it's just getting hysterical, but it's actually about that. It's about finding this deeper thing, whether you believe it or not. So that's cool. Hysteria is another song they built very piecemeal style. They recorded the chords one note at a time instead of just doing a strum, which is cool. Like ZZ Top resorted to doing something similar on Eliminator. We talked about that. But they just, instead of playing like a G chord, they would play the G note, then they would play the B note, then they would, just keep on going and going, building chords from the ground up. It's a beautiful song. Probably the most tender moment on the album.
Yeah, it's very good. This feels like we're back in like A-side territory.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why this is the song I would bump up from side 2. This is the song that makes side 2 really worth it.
Sure.
There's something really great about that shift into the pre-chorus. I gotta know tonight if you're alone tonight. It's just an iconic 80s metal ballad moment. How'd you feel about Excitable? It starts with all these whispers. Are you excitable?
Yeah, I really got a little worried when, it just started the song started whispering in my ear. Are you excitable?
Yeah, it's not my favorite intro to a song Def Leppard's ever done, but it's all right. The rhythms on Excitable are interesting and confusing. They don't quite flow the way I expect them to. They're a little jerky and kind of offbeat in a fun way. Excitable, we bring back the lust of Lust Blood rock. I get so excitable. You got me shivering.
Shiver me timbers.
And there's some good lyrics here, too. You got your leather lace long and lean, ballistic lipstick dream machine.
The vocals just do some very interesting things that I like, but at the same time, just they're so weird to do 2 tracks from the end.
Yeah, right. Like, we're so close to the end. I don't know. Excitable is one of those tracks I could easily not miss if it wasn't here. That said, though, I really do like Love and Affection as a closer, and I do think I would miss it. Love and Affection, I thought was a really interesting song. It sounds cool, sounds great. It does have the thematic bones of a song from the first half, and it's not too long. Love and Affection probably feels like it could be too long. Put another chorus in there, like they so often love to do. That'd be a bit much, but I think they handle it perfectly. And it's kind of funny because it's the opposite of a love song. You're just another girl, I'm just another man. It's just another night. Don't give me love and affection. It's the same, I don't need your love, I need your touch. Don't give me love and affection. Let's just get down to business. Anyway, that's the record. Did you have any thoughts about love and affection?
Love and affection. I mean, I'm a fan of ending on a ballad like this.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, again, I personally would put Love and Affection, even though it was a track I didn't know coming into the album, up in the A-side level. You know, I think I would have trimmed the album to the A-side, kept Hysteria and Love and Affection. I guess Run Riot if you want to keep it, and that's it. But I'd be okay even if Run Riot dropped off.
Yeah.
But I think you tack Hysteria on after Armageddon It, then you end with Love and Affection, and boom, 8 solid tracks.
Honestly, and it'd be an incredible album. No skips, no misses. Every second would be unimpeachable if you did that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as it stands now, and this is final spin territory, probably, this is an album that gets better when you lose content.
Which is always a shame.
Yeah, and it's not that Gods of War and Don't Shoot Shotgun and Excitable are bad, but they're just not as good. They're not up to the level of the rest of Hysteria, and it's noticeable, and it's concentrated on this back half. So, like, when I'm scoring this album, I've listened to the front half, and I've loved it. And then by the time it's, like, score given time, I mean, we're 40 minutes deep in, maybe not 40 minutes, that's an exaggeration, at least 25 minutes deep in songs that are not the same caliber of the first half of the album. And so you feel like it drags a little bit. I'm giving the music an 85. I think there's a lot of great stuff in here. Some iconic 80s metal. Giving the lyrics an 82. Lust, blood, and rock. Kind of a sex, drugs, and rock and roll of sorts. But that's what it is. That's what they sing about. It's typical. It's mostly simple. The times when they do try and make big statements like Gods of War, maybe Run Riot, it doesn't quite land effectively. 82 on the lyrics. 87, though, for the instruments and the production. Their sleek, clean, calculated sound is really awesome. I'm glad they went with Mutt Lange. I'm glad they didn't try and do this rowdy and live the Jim Steinman way. Like, this is Def Leppard. When I want Def Leppard, this is what I want. That's how I want the sound. I want it to be clean, polished, harmonic, rich in tone. Like, they hit it all. Check all the boxes. I'm giving the overall vibe an 86. This album is a smidge long, and the back half really anchors it from a higher score. Just flat out, it does. So, overall, Hysteria lands at an 85.5 for me, which ranks it at number 358. Regrettably low, honestly. I thought it would be better. It's above the Beach Boys Today, which is cool, but it is below Ingrid Andress's Ladylike, which is so wrong, but it is all about the back half on this album. Remember Ladylike? It's like 7 tracks long. That's because she cut, I assume, all the stuff that would have held it back. Def Leppard did not have the discernment to do that. And I know it's like one of the 51st greatest selling albums of all time in America. I understand, but it's not the 51st best selling album in America because of the back half. It's the best selling album in spite of that stuff. So that's where it lands for me. Edge in the top 350, but not quite there.
I agree with everything you just said, but it's not gonna be penalized as much as you penalized it for those things. For me,
that's reasonable. This is your playground.
Yeah, everything you said was spot on, but we're in Connor's playground, so it inevitably gets a little bias bump because, as I've said from the beginning, I'm biased by what I want to listen to.
Yep, as you said, not the beginning of the episode, mind you, the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, from the beginning.
220 weeks ago.
220 weeks ago, I set out on a mission, and I'm still here.
Putting together a team. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for me, the back half is enough to drop it out of 9 territory.
Yikes.
But not enough to really penalize it much more than that. So this is getting an easy and high 8 pounds of sugar out of 10. For those playing along at home, that is 8 times 16 times $10 is what James would get in that scenario.
You're not going to do that math? You're just going to leave them with a math problem?
We got a whole math department, all right? You think I can do that math? I get the squirrels out. Say, hey, squirrels! Been a while. Dust off the cobwebs. Do some math.
1,280.
That'd be 1,328 for exactly 16.6 cents per pound.
Oh, well, I just did 16. Sorry, I didn't do 16.6.
Yeah, the squirrels can do up to 2 decimal places.
So this is a $1,000 sugar album for you.
Yeah, a $1,300 album.
A $1,300 album. You got to sell 5 million bags of sugar just to break even. Fantastic.
And it is going pretty high. It's going right below Whoever's in New England by Reba McEntire.
That's a pretty strong 8.
This is my 3rd highest 8 now. Yeah, it's a pretty strong album. just had to be penalized. And really, I wouldn't even have had to penalize. I could have still given it a very low 9 if it wasn't for they made the claim they were setting out to make an all hits album. Like that right there. With that mission in mind, the back half just becomes a bit more heinous.
They failed. Yeah, they could have done it.
Yeah.
They set out a goal for themselves and they could have had it.
Yeah, if they were just like, here's an album with a bunch of songs we really like, I would have been like, maybe if reordered them so that it wasn't so shocking, but whatever, it's a good album, and I probably would have given it a low 9. But to go, we're trying to be like Thriller and make an all hits album, and then to do this to the back half,
we're trying to be like Thriller. Here's Excitable.
I had to drop it into the 8s, but I still love it, still a big fan of it. My top 3 in album order. We're starting off with Women.
Wow,
I think it's a great album opener.
that's interesting. That is another, I didn't mention it at the time, that's another Def Leppard track I did not know before picking up this record.
Oh, yeah. And it's actually going to be my honorable mention. So we're kicking things off. Top of the album, honorable mention.
A womention.
Then we're going Animal, Love Bites, Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Whoa.
That easy. With a bonus pick. Sorry, next week, Connor. We're taking Hysteria.
Wow. No love for Rocket, but I understand. Those are some big hits that you picked.
There's love. There's love. But there's some stuff coming up that I need picks for. So
And it's certainly not next week.
it's certainly not next week.
But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. We'll get there. I think playlist picks for this album are going to be so hard.
Oh, it's so hard. I think I got to take Love Bites. It's either that or Hysteria for me.
Okay. The ballad guy strikes again.
I know. I think Hysteria is too similar to some of the other songs in terms of tone and vibe. That Love Bites is a little more mellow. And so I want that flavor on the playlist.
Yeah.
And so then I'll leave it up to you.
Okay. Pour Some Sugar on Me feels like the gimme pick, and I like it. But, I mean, it was a last-minute addition to the album.
Sure.
You want to talk about the ways that this album grew and changed and evolved. Look no further than Animal. I mean, 3 years to write and develop the sound.
Yeah. I was hoping you would go Animal. Those are the two I would prefer. But I didn't think you'd take Love Bites if I took Animal, so I took Love Bites.
That is, yeah, correct. That's accurate. If you took Animal, I probably would have been at Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Oh, you would have gone Pour Some Sugar on Me. Wow.
Possibly.
Yeah, I just really like Love Bites. And you're right, Pour Some Sugar on Me, it feels wrong to leave it on the table. I mean, it's their most popular song. But Love Bites, that chorus.
Yeah, and I've always liked Animal better than Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think it's a justified 2. It's just, this is it. When you go for an all hits album, you got to leave some hits on the table, right?
That's true. But there you go. That's Hysteria. That's Def Leppard. The circus continues in our circus era. Next week, we're doing another redemption pick, and boy, it's one that I'm anxious about. I think anxiety is the word that I most feel about it.
Your redemption's gone a little interesting. It's been a bit sideways for you.
Yeah, it has. Your picks for redemption.
I knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
I knocked it out of the park on first try.
you did.
And it set a bar for myself I'll never meet the rest of the year. You've been struggling to hit any sort of bar.
Well, things have been redeeming at the same level that they initially placed. But next week, we get another crack at it. Boy, is it a doozy. I think we'll see probably a most improved for me in the year of redemption so far.
Probably.
But who knows? That's a low bar.
It's hard to do worse.
Oh.
It's hard to do worse.
Don't remind me. Stay tuned next week to see what that's all about. And Mixtober's coming up. Lots of fun stuff on the horizon.
Mixtober's coming up. We got the Mixtaper back hosting another episode for Mixtober.
That's right.
Got another 13 songs for you with a bit of a twist this year, so you'll want to tune into that episode.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. He literally told me, just show up. So you'll be having fun at ConCon, and I'll be having an experience.
Yeah, gotta go off to ConCon. I appreciate that the Mixtaper's willing to step in and cover for me while I'm at ConCon every year.
Yeah, it's kind of him. If you want to stay up to date on all that, follow us on social media, at SpinItPod Official on Instagram and at SpinItPod on X. You can also visit our website, www.spinitpod.com, where all the stuff lives. If you got friends, you can tell them about the podcast.
The obvious answer here is to tell a friend who you want to pour sugar on about the podcast.
Oh.
But I feel like we can do better here.
Yeah, we can.
So maybe tell a friend's mom about the podcast, specifically a friend who has a mom who would be part of the Fun Police.
Oh, a Fun Police mom.
Yeah, find a Fun Police mom and tell her about the podcast. Could be your own mom, I guess, but preferably somebody else's.
Very interesting Very interesting directive this week for the tele-friend. We'll see you next week. And until then, always measure your sugar, 16.66 cents. And
Till then, remember, lust, blood, and rock, and
keep
spinning. I think for me, we got to be talking at least, I think it is around $1,300. I think it's around this album's worth in sugar.
8 pounds is where you draw the line?
I think the money's got to be in the thousands, because I think the amount of money it takes to clean up 8 pounds of sugar versus the amount of money it takes to clean up 1 pound of sugar, probably relatively the same amount of money to clean it up.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm getting $1,000 instead of like $16. So
yeah, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Maybe I'll just piggyback on that and say 8 pounds is my cutoff too. Maybe I'll up it to 10.
also, our math could be completely wrong because something feels off there about the math. But
I just put the numbers into the little calculator that you told me. So
no, I don't know. It's 60.6 cents. We said it was $1 a cent, so that's $16 per pound. So how are we getting to 1,000? I don't know how the math works. The math, something's not checking out with the math.
did we ever consider that Love Might Only Bite Def Leppard because they've poured sugar on themselves? Or had sugar poured on
Oh, that is an interesting question.
them? Maybe Love just has a sweet tooth.
I know I do.
You got a love tooth.
Well, I hate that.
Tell me a spice that'd be better and worse to have poured on you than sugar. I mean, spice or seasoning.
Ooh, better than sugar. I'm thinking something like parsley flakes. I think it's easier to clean up
Yeah, it would be.
than your usual granular stuff.
But it would smell.
Yeah, but it smells like parsley. I mean,
That's true. Bay leaves.
Baileys would be good too for that same purpose.
That would never even get on you.
Yeah. Worse, I'm thinking like smoked paprika, chili pepper, those kind
chili
of things.
powder.
Yeah.
Spicy. Yikes.
I'm a big fan of cooking with smoked paprika, but I don't want to pour it on me.